Well, here we are. Happy Friday, friends. It's Lauren. How are you guys? All right, we are here. We're doing something a little different tonight because we are going to do a deep dive. Well, we're going to start our dive. How about that? We're going to start diving in to how to bridge the gap between digital artwork and kits for our traditional albums. And, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and I have been thinking about all the different things, right? So, this is what we're doing tonight. All the different things I can share. And then I started getting really overwhelmed. And then I started getting really nervous that I couldn't answer all your questions. So, guess what? We're going to just do what we can tonight. We're going to have some fun. And I think what we are going to have to do is take this in pieces. Now, yeah. And here's the other thing. I saw Carrie's on. Yay. Hi, Carrie. It is hot here. My lights are still off. The air is still out. They came out. They haven't been able to fix it. They're not coming back until Tuesday. So that's another reason I don't know how long I'm going to last. It's pretty warm in here. It's, because I don't have any screens on my windows, so I can't open it up, and we have bugs and all that. So anyhow, you guys, digital and traditional. Yep. Carrie is your favorite. So, thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to be honest and laid back. That's right, Annette. It's like, we will see what we can do. Here's what I'm thinking. We're going to have to take this in stages. And I've actually had a little conversation with Carrie because I lean on Carrie, and I'm also leaning on my daughter, Audrey, to help with the cutting, because I still don't feel like I'm truly an expert with cutting. I can get by, but sometimes I get mixed up. But some other things I feel like I can do really well. So like I can work with graphics programs really well. And I know that. And so I'm actually going to spend most of our time tonight kind of telling you about my first and favorite thing to use with digital artwork. And if you've heard me, you might have heard me mention it here and there, but I'm actually going to show you some stuff that I think is going to really just be like, la ha ha for you. Okay. Then cutting. And I just have to say hello to everyone. You guys are awesome. Be sure to put cues in because the chat I know is going to be big tonight. I know you're going to have a lot of questions. And Jackie's here, Lynette, Susan, Deb, Connie, Kathy, Julie. Oh my goodness. Yoli's here. Jenny's here. Okay, so hello all you guys. Thank you for joining. Big, huge virtual hugs right out to you all. So, let's take this in pieces. And I know there's going to be a lot of cutting questions. So we might have to have like a whole session just on cutting. And so maybe what we're going to do is just like, maybe for the rest of the summer, we're going to just take a break from actually scrapping, like me scrapping in front of you, because you get videos on that. And we're just going to kind of talk a little bit about tech, because there's a lot of tech that you can use to complement your scrapbooking, right? So, yeah. And yeah, we're going to keep the beginner in mind. So, and that's why I thought maybe today what we do is we just kind of start off by giving you some really fun, easy ways to print some of the digital art. And I'm going to just share it with you. And it is so easy. I promise. That's why I thought, this might be good for you. But before we jump in and start there, I have a surprise in case you didn't see my post on Facebook. You guys, I had no clue, none. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at what's new that just got released. Thank you, Carrie. My audio is gone. You know, every time I think I fixed that, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make that I fix it now. I always, that for some reason that worked, that I don't know why. Thanks, you guys. I can always count on you. I'm back, right? Yes, thank you. Okay. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, tools. So, really quick, going back. Yes, tools. I did not know any of this was coming, you guys. This is mind-blowing. And then they have a new, thank you, new collection, Vivid Melodies, with all the different colors. So this is going to be replacing Botanical Burst, which went on last chance. So there's bonus items for the bundles for both tools and for the new paper. And then there's not just tools there in the buffet, in the tool buffet. There's also other new tools like this, the leaf border punch. Beautiful, isn't it? And this From the Heart Full of Love punch, which is darling. I could have used this when I was working on my wedding book, but I may have to finish and put some things in there. And then this is a favorite. Okay, Sunshine Arches BMC. Love it. Any ideas on the cost for the Vivid Melodies? Good question. I think it's just going to run the very same. The paper packs, $10, and the stickers, $9. I don't think that anything is going to change. It should all still be the same for that. So good question. And then, yep, let's not forget our favorite, the foam tape and photo tape. You guys asked. And it's back now in the main line. That adhesive buffet, this was such a big hit, both the foam tape and photo tape. I know, Diane, I love it all too. It's like, oh my gosh, we just got off the promo and now there's all this new stuff. It's just so crazy. But seriously, I didn't know any of this was coming. Carrie says, if I order the new tools, your husband will have to retrieve the deliveries. Oh boy. Yeah, you're not going to be home just yet, huh? Okay, Carrie's in Canada. So, all right. So that's the new product release. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. And here's what's on last chance. So I'm going to pause it here for a second. Just take a good look. And there are Candy Cane, Totally Tonals, Duos, and the Tonal Hues. Happy Camper. I went on. Those stickers were already sold out. Can you believe it? Botanical Burst. So the Happy Camper, the paper, and the embellishments were still available last I looked, but it's been a couple hours. So, and Deb has a question. Were there albums? And I think what they were doing is they have recommended colors that go with the albums, right? So we already have these albums in our product line, and they have recommended colors that go with it. So no new albums, just the papers. Okay, great questions, y'all. All right. So super duper new stuff. Okay, here's the thing. I'm coming back at you right here. So I'm not going to have an overhead tonight, because really what I'm going to do is a lot of screen shares, because we're going to get in there and take a look. And hopefully this will be kind of a resource video that you can come back and look at. But what I want to share is kind of a little bit of what I have been able to do with printing, just straight up printing. And as I mentioned yesterday when I jumped on Facebook, they had the digital promo where you could get the Relax and Unwind, all the digital kits, paper kits in digital form if you spent $30. And I know I saw a lot of my customers, you're like, okay, I got to go do it because I think Lauren's going to tell me something to do with it, right? So look at what you can do. Is that cute? Look at that little journal card. And I just printed this I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Okay. And then, of course, there's the dot grid, which I shared. I know it was getting dark last night. I'm like, it's really getting dark in here. But there's the relax and unwind dot grid. Super, super cute. This was from the fishing. This is the grid, beautiful grid. I printed all of these, you guys. Printed myself from digital. So I can take digital kits and then get it in my hands to use in my traditional books. That's the whole goal. Again, more printing. There was another one. The library, and the grid. I love these three, right? Because I'm a big fan of, kind of soft. Now, can you go all out and print like full-on collections? Absolutely. Absolutely. So this was a kit. This is one of the digital kits that I designed, eons ago. But I just wanted to share it with you because I had already printed it. And so can you print? Yes, you can print. You can print beautiful new collections. And let me see something here. Let's see here. Why isn't this letting me go in here? Okay. Temperature. Something, the tint looks off on. There we go. That's a little better. The color was just looking a little weird. Is that better? I don't know. Maybe it's because my lights aren't on. I could turn my lights on, but then I might start sweating on you guys. Okay. Anyhow, so you get the idea. You can print. Yes, this is 12 by 12. Now, Lauren, what if I don't have a 12 by 12 printer? And what if I don't have, I only have a printer that prints up to 8.5 by 11. I'm going to talk about that. What if I want to make a little 4 by 6 or 6 by 4 journal card? I'm going to talk about that. What am I going to do about baby charms? If there's time, after I kind of dig into some of these other things, I'm going to do a quick run through, because I know you guys have been asking how to print the baby charms, which I have those right here, right? All these cute little things. So I know I've been posting a little bit about how I did print and cut on these guys that go, that I created to go with the You Quack Me Up paper collection, right? So it took a day. It does, like to get all of those cut out and then make my borders and pages and things like that. But I'll share those with you also. And but let's see. Yes, exactly. So Andy, you can adjust the digital to print on 8.5 by 11 if you don't have 12 by 12. So, and do you have a wide format printer? I do, Kimberly. Yes, I knew all the questions were going to be coming in. I do, but I'm going to show you don't have to. And how much ink is used when printing? I know that's the big question, Deb. And I am actually going to refer you to Red River. So we're also going to talk a little bit about paper. I'm going to refer you to Red River because they have excellent, they've done a ton of research on costs from different printers. It all varies depending on your printer and depending on your ink. And of course, what you're going to print. And so, like when I decided to print this, I didn't want a whole page of red. I thought I'm just going to print half a page, and then I wanted to print my borders so I could cut this apart and then I'm not wasting ink, right? But they did a wonderful job on, how much does it really cost? And they do a lot of comparisons. So I'm going to refer you redrivercatalog.com. Red River paper, as you know, this was printed on Red River paper. One of my absolute favorites. That's what I print my photos at home on. But they also have beautiful matte cardstock if quality is your thing. But really, there's a sliding scale. I mean, we could sit here and talk all night about paper. Cherie's like, what kind of paper do you print on, right? So I It depends. So like I said, this is when it's something I really want the color to pop. This is a matte photo paper. And so, yep, I'll spend a little bit more. This is from Red River and I'll get that. If I'm printing a little journal card, this one, I just cut a white Creative Memories cardstock down into 4x6 and I printed right here on 4x6. And yes, photo inks, Canon inks are photo safe. Okay, so you know, there's and I'm going to refer all of that stuff to, again, if you're really interested in the research and, you know, kind of all the details, that stuff just can't stick in my brain long enough. Okay, I'm going to just go look at Red River, just do a little query, redrivercatalog.com. I'm serious. They are an amazing paper company. I love them. I've been using them for years now. And they have done a ton of research. And major photographers use them. Card makers, everybody uses them. And anybody who has used Red River that I've referred, they're like, Lauren, you were right? Can I say? So, so for archival questions, for ink questions, for paper quality questions, I'm just going to have you go take a look because there's a lot of great information there. Phew, it's getting hot in here. Okay, let's start about, I'm going to share first off, right off the bat, kind of a little bit of workflow. How do I, when I get digital stuff, how does that go? So I'm going to switch over to my screen share right now and tell you, well, I start on my website. Okay. So right now I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to see the chat unless maybe I can bring it up on my phone. Maybe I'll do that. And give me a second. But I do want to tell you something interesting, you guys. Here it is. Okay, now I've got my phone chat because when I switch to screen share, I can't see it on my computer. And yep, Debbie says she agrees. Red River, the way to go. I love it. Here's something I learned when I was at conference, and I keep forgetting to tell you guys. Do you see this little flag? So if you're here in the US, and this is more for international folks, people have asked, well, how do I, if I'm in the UK or I am, you know, not in the US, Australia, or Canada, how can I order? I didn't even know this. Did you guys know you can click on the little flag? And look at that! We are global. Thank you for visiting. Here's US, Canada, and Australia. But guess what? There's other places you can go. New Zealand and the UK. Here's CM Japan. So you guys, I never even knew about that. But the gal who helps run the UK was at conference and she's like, oh yeah, Lauren, just have them go right here. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you could click on that. So they are global. And how about that? CM International. So we're going to start. And as always, if you are shopping with me, just a reminder, you should see my little photo right here. You should see my name as your advisor. And if you shop with someone else, make sure that their little photo is there because I know people can click around and, you know, sometimes links will tell you to go to someone else and then you're like, well, what happened to my advisor? She disappeared. So sometimes you have to just double check that when you're checking out. I just want to make sure about that. So if we're shopping for digital artwork, we're going to go to create digital photo albums and then we're going to click on digital artwork. And this is where all the digital kits are, right? And you can just see they go through pages and pages of digital kits. And we are going to kind of take another look at cutting, like I said. But right now, I just want to focus this first pass at printing and kind of share some really fun, easy ways you can just take these things and print them. Because here's the thing. happy camper, you guys. The stickers are gone. But what if you want those stickers? You can bring them into Cricut, Design Space, and print and cut. Or you can also do what I'm going to share right now. So let me just go, when we get to digital artwork, you guys, it's crazy how much digital art. And I probably got signed out again, so I might have to, no, I'm signed in. Okay. So when you go to my account, and then you go right here, my downloadable products. And that is where all your downloads live for, what's the answer? What's the answer? How long do they live here for? Do you guys know? Zoom level of my screen share. Okay. Thank you, Carrie. Do I need to zoom out a little bit? Let me see if I can. Is that better? How's that? Is that better? I think that might be better. Gotcha. Thank you, Carrie. How long do they live here for? Did I get an answer yet? Hi, everybody. Can I zoom out? See him scream is smaller. Okay. We can't see the whole thing. Yeah. Instant ink. Okay. Buzz zoomer. Okay. We got the buzz. I finally got the buzz. Okay. Buzz. 2 years. Yes. Debbie got it. 2 years. A little bit more. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. That's kind of weird, huh? Let me see when I switch screens whether it's going to keep that. So, yep, Jackie, you got it. 2 years. So it's 2 years. So here's the thing. You want to make sure it'll hold your digital artwork in here in my downloadable products for 2 years. So you want to make sure that at some point you get them out of here, out of your account, and stored somewhere safe, right? And I finally did that, a little while ago, downloaded all of them and put them on, we have what's called a NAS system. And so it's basically backed up to the backups. And because these cost money, right, folks? So you want to make sure that you have them somewhere safe. Okay, I'm not going to get into that because we could talk a lot on that too, right? All right. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this weird. Okay. So 2 years, you guys, you're good. You're good. But you have to just set a reminder to do some maintenance. Let's just say that. Okay. So here's the promo stuff, the You Pick It, which, because I bought a couple kits here, I got that for free. So once I click on it, it goes into my downloads folder, and I'm not going to do that because I've already done that. But now I just have to say I'm working on a Mac. Okay. So you have to extrapolate, and Carrie, you can buzz in if you can extrapolate to a piece it is weird, huh? Let me see if this works better. I don't know why it's not. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I think it's a setting. Wait a second. Let me try something. I think it's a setting on my show. Here we go. How about that? I think that might, it actually might zoom it all out a little bit more. Okay. All right. So when you click on that, it goes to your downloads folder. I'm going to leave it up to you to find your downloads folder. I'm going to, yep, that did it. Okay. I'm going to go to my downloads folder, and hopefully Ecamm is, it looks like it's following with me. Okay, so okay, this screen share is a little tricky. We're gonna try it this way and see if this works. But yeah, okay, better. Good. Okay, so I have my downloads. This is recents, but I'm gonna go to my downloads folder, and I have right here. Oh, normally, let me do this. I am going to download so you guys can see the whole process, because I know you like to see the whole process, right? I am going to do Vineyard Escape. Okay, so there you can see it's telling me it's downloading here in the bottom corner. And then when it's done, I'm going to go to my Finder, my downloads folder now. Yep, looks like it's following me. And now, where's my download? It's still going. Give it a sec. Okay. But what I want to tell you is it downloads as a zip file. And so most of you guys are comfortable with zip files, I hope, by now. And when you get a zip file, what I do, I just double click. There it is. You pick it right here. And I'm going to just open that so you can see the whole title. So if you look here, it goes, yep, it's zipped. So, and you're like, well, Lauren, there's nothing there. So you just double click. And again, we're going beginner level here. I know some of you know this. Double click. And once you have double clicked, basically that's extracting it. Sometimes some PCs you do have to actually right click and extract, I believe. And then you can just get rid of your zip file. Okay, so okay, good. We're all much better now. So now I have my folders. This is Vineyard Escape. These are my folders. So I've taken the zip file, I've extracted my folders, and now I can go in here and I can look at the papers. You can see all the different papers. Like, I really love the wine stains paper. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for you. And then, oh, there you go, a little bigger, you can see it. And then you can just click through and see all your different digital paper, right? So pretty. Same with elements. You can see all your elements. So you've got your wine bottle, your cork, all the different things. So that's just really generally, I love those wine stains too, where you can look, you extract, you get your downloads. And the same thing happens when you buy something from my website, right? Is like if you've purchased the journal paper, you get a download, or the baby charms, or the Heart to Help elements, same kind of thing, okay? You usually get a zip file, you have to open it, you'll have folders or different elements in there, and then you get it. So that is how you get your digital components out of Creative Memories onto your computer. That's step one. Step two is learning how to use one of my very, very favorite tools in the whole world. And I'm telling you this, whenever I do coaching, I always tell my team, if you have not learned how to use this tool yet, you need to get it and you need to learn it. And I know, like Diane, you'll probably know what I'm saying next, right? It is Canva. And there are 2 levels of Canva. One is the free version, free forever and ever and ever. And let me tell you, you can do a lot with the free version. If you want to kick it up a notch and, be able to erase backgrounds and get access to more tools and more designs, you can also get the Canva Pro. And I left a link in the description of this video if you are interested in learning more. And so you can just click on that link. But I'm going to start wowing you, I hope. Now, anybody who hasn't learned Canva, you guys, it's the easiest program. Let me just click through and share a few of the things that you can do. So I know I've mentioned one thing is you can print multiple. This is a 4x6 setup. And I imported multiple pictures, and I can print multiple pictures on a 4x6. There is no watermark. You do not have to pay for it. I love it. And you can size them. You can do things all your own, right? So this is a picture that I actually have in one of my albums that I printed on a 4x6. So step one is you can print different size images. Yay! I know you guys have asked about that for so many things, so many times. Okay. 2 is you can create. So we're really just looking, and if you've ever wondered how I create all of my thumbnails, my videos for a new product, it's here. It's all here. I know advisors ask me, Lauren, how did you do that? I say Canva. That's how I did that. Okay. It's a very powerful graphics program, but very, very user-friendly. Do you like the cinnamon rolls? I know. It's getting me hungry. Okay. Next, let's take a look at 6x4. Actually, before I jump into that, so here's another mock-up I did. I know Julie has said, oh yeah, I love printing, multiple sizes on an 8.5 by 11. So I did one. I did a mock-up. Here's an 8.5 by 11. And guess what I did? I put a 4x4 right here. And I did I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. And then I did a 4x4. And I have a 4x6. And then I put 2 3x3s here. And if I wanted to put another one in here, I could do like maybe a little 2x3. So I just kind of wanted to throw these in here and show you that you can do multiple sizes on an 8.5 by 11 and print exactly what you want instead of always doing like a 4x6. And so how do you get your photo in there? Well, here's a photo. There's Lauren. Pop, drag and drop. Here's Lauren again. Let's put her over here now. Whoops, sorry. There we go. And then if I wanted to move that down, I just double click and move that down. Okay. So now I know these are sized 4x4. I know when I print that, it's only going to print 4x4s. I'm going to print 2 4x4s, a 4x6, and 2 3x3s. But you can make this whatever you want. The other fun thing you can do here in Canva is this is a full grid. Now, where do these live? These are under the Elements tab. So I'm pretty sure you can see. Yep. You can see over here, I'm going to circle it a little bit so you can see right over here, Elements. And if you click on that, it gives you, you guys, you could spend all day, all night playing around here in Canva. There are so many things you can do. I'm telling you, it's so fun. But what you want to do is click on Elements, and then you're going to scroll down, and then you've got charts and tables and frames, and then you're going to look at grids, and you're going to click See All. See all grids. Look at all these grids. And how do you get these grids on your paper? So remember, I started with an 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to go back out and tell you how to do that in a second. But let's say I wanted to print this grid down here. I click on it. Seriously, that's it. Easy. And then again, I would go to my uploads, pull a picture in, and that's it, right? Just like that. So let's back up because I realize I kind of, and you can see, can you see over here on the side? This is where you take that artwork that I just told you where it was in your downloads folder, okay, if it's brand new artwork, and this is where it comes in. It comes into your uploads tab in Canva. Okay, so let me go back out, and I'm going to go to my home screen so I can talk a little bit more about how to get things set up. Okay, one of the things I think is a great way to start is to just make some new designs. You can just, new, click new, and this one, let's see, hold on. Where did my new button go? Whoops, nope, that's not the wrong one. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Video, print. Here we go. Print. Okay, so I'm going to just, where did the new button go? I usually just redo one. No, that's not it. Give me a second here. Templates, home. Where's the new button? Oh, custom size. Here it is. Okay, right here, custom size. So we're going to do a custom size, and we're going to say, I haven't done this. I don't have a template for this yet. So this is going to be brand new. We're going to say a 12 by 12. Oh, and it's in pixels. So we need to change it into inches. And now we go again, 12 by 12. And we're going to create a new design. Okay, create a new design. There we go. So now I have a 12 by 12 canvas. Now, that's just how you create kind of your blank, basic square that you can put things on. Let's say, now I'm going to go back to my home, though. So we just did Untitled Design 12 by 12. Let's edit that. And we're going to say this is a 12 by 12. Okay, and so you can see I've got one labeled 12 by 12. This is letter size with multiple prints. This is a 4 by 6 with 3 pictures. You guys see how I'm kind of giving myself clues as to what, and guess what? Even on the free account, it stays here forever, you guys, forever. It's so great. And then I decided to do a 6 by 4 and a letter size and a 4 by 6. Okay, so you can just get all these different sizes set up in Canva for free. And then let's see what we can do with it. So let's jump in and do a letter size print. And this is one of the main reasons right here that I decided to kind of dig into Canva to help you. And this is it. So when you have, I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to add a page right here. So I have a blank page. I want to go over here to my uploads and I want to go and find that Vineyard Escape. It's in my downloads folder. And I'm going to, I want to upload the Wine Stains Vineyard Escape paper. Okay. Now it's as easy as just dragging and dropping. Okay. Or you can do upload and then find your file. I love dragging and dropping. It's just so easy. So now I have this Wine Stains. Now this was designed in a 12 by 12 format. The paper we're looking at is 8.5 by 11. So how is that going to work? Well, this is how you do it. You can just take that. It stays in your uploads. It's not going to go away. You can click on it once and it'll load it on your paper. And then just like any graphics program, you're going to be able to kind of resize that. Do you see that? Resize that. Or you can double click and another dialog box comes up and you can set the image as the background. And what that does is that it automatically resizes your image, even though it is 12 by 12. It's resizing it to an 8.5 by 11. That easy, just like that. I love it. So you now can print this on a standard printer, 8.5 by 11, this beautiful wine stain paper. So I already loaded in here the grid paper, but I'm going to just delete that and show you one more time how to do it. So my grid paper is over here on the left hand side. I'm going to click that again. Now, the other way we could go about doing this is to, this is where grid is a little tricky because you could size it to paper, but the actual size of the grid might be kind of smaller. You have to kind of play around with this and see what you like. So do you see how my purple box is off the edge? That to me is telling me that 12 by 12, that's that size. And so this 8.5 by 11, excuse me, my grid is going to be pretty close to the same size as my 12 by 12 paper. Okay? So, yeah, okay, Linda has a question about Canva and Silhouette and Cricut. Canva is standalone. You can just use all your digital art with Canva, print it, and stick it in your album. That's why I'm kind of skipping the cutters right now, because we could probably spend a whole Friday night scrapbooking on cutters, because this is just such an easy win and so fast. I wanted to give you this info first. Okay, so there's the grid. Now you can do the same thing also, is set image as background, and it will also do that pretty closely as well. Okay, now one other thing I wanted to share is the ledger paper. This is what I love about Canva, where you could also go straight from your downloads, open your 12 by 12, and tell your printer to print it. But here's the thing, your printer is it's going to ask you to reset. It'll automatically scale to fit is usually the button that your printer you'll see on your printer, and you don't get to determine how that scales to fit. And here's what I mean. When I did a scale to fit on my printer, I think it was like this. Okay, do you guys see that? It kind of had this, the library look was offset. And it's not how, if I wanted to print on an 8.5 by 11, the lines were not where I wanted them to be, right? So in Canva, what you can do is just quickly, you just double click on that image and you can move that around and put it wherever you want. Or say you want really big fat lines, you could take that and pull it up and make it even bigger. Like you have a kindergartner and you want them to write on this. Or if you want skinnier lines, go ahead and drag that corner in. If I can grab it over here. Let me see. I'll go this way. Drag that in. Come on. It's not working now. There we go. Okay. See if we can drag that in and make it smaller. It's not wanting to play. Okay. You should be able to there we go. No, it's not wanting to do that. Okay, I'm going to just delete it and bring it in again. Okay, so smaller here, it already comes in smaller. So now maybe what I'm going to do is just make it fit exactly into my 8.5 by 11. Do you see? You can kind of do that as well. But like I said, those lines are not where I want them to be. So I kind of like it seeing that this line right here just a little bit more, maybe even more like that. I want to see these lines. So basically you just can make this sized to the way you like it. Now let me show you really quick how same kind of idea. Now I did the same thing on a 4 by 6. Okay. So here's that same paper, but look at how it comes out differently. So again, if I double click, you can see where that whole rest of the paper is. And you just can't do this straight from your file to a printer. Okay, you can't, I haven't found. Now you could do this if you have Photoshop, you could do this if you have Illustrator or some kind, or Artisan, you could do this. Canva, you can do it, and you can do it so simply and so easily and for free. Okay, so I love it. Right, so if I wanted a different part of this paper, I could do that. I could do like a double line like this, and I click off, and now I have a whole different look for my 4 by 6. Okay, so here's one I thought was so cute. I put the dot paper. And Lauren, how did you get those cute little embellishments on there? Well, that's easy. You just come over here, just from that same downloads folder. Remember how you have elements also? right over here, relax and unwind, elements, relax and unwind, and we have all the different cute borders. I'm going to drag that little lamplight border into my Canva, and voila, now it's on my little note card. So maybe I don't want the bookshelf. I want the little lamps to be on my little 4x6 journal card. Is that the cutest journal card you've ever seen? Look at how darling that is. Now, there's a ton of things that you can learn with Canva. One of the things easy that I really want you to know about, and so now what we're doing, we're taking it the next level, and we are building with elements. We're kind of adding that fun into our, not just plain paper, but now let's make it fun. So when you click on something, this is a really key button that I want you to know about, position. And this is super easy. Forward, backward, top, left, center, middle, bottom, right. Okay. And the main one you want to do is like if you have this guy, and let me see. Whoops. I've grabbed the wrong thing. Let me undo that. I am saying, oh, now it's behind. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. Now it's behind those lights, but I want it in front of those lights. Okay, position, forward. Ta-da! Isn't that easy? So now you can have that right, just kind of overlapping a little bit in front of those lights. Isn't that a cute little dot grid? That is the bullet journal from the vineyard, no, from Relax and Unwind. Okay. Fun, isn't it? Isn't it fun? I love this. I'm telling you. So this was another one that I did way back when I was, this was one of the Black Friday promos, and they didn't give us matte packs, but they gave us elements, and I don't know. I think these were elements and paper. And I'm like, well, you can make your own journal card, right? Because you can just layer, each one of these is movable. Even these cute little sequins is movable. And again, sometimes you have to do bring to front and so forth. So, or bring forward. So like if I wanted this to come forward a little bit, I'm going to bring forward. Look at that. And you've got this beautiful layering going on with different elements. The flower, the sequins, the banner, and the background paper. Isn't it fun? Okay. And you can just keep going. Here's one of them from, let's put the bullet journal grid back there. I'm going to go big on this now. I'm just going to pull this way off the page and have kind of a large dot grid. I mean, you can just go to town on this, right? Now I have this big, beautiful dot grid. I'm going to take and I'm going to bring this cute little bird in there. This is from the Heart to Help elements that Noreen, Kylie, and I did. And now I'm going to include hope. Ta-da! How about that? Oops, it's covering the bird. What do, guys? We take that position forward, and now my bird is in the front. And maybe I want to just kind of move this around. Now, what if I'm going to get all fancy and I want to turn it? See this little rotate button down here? Super easy. Just grab it, rotate it, and maybe we're going to put hope up there. Maybe we're even going to rotate the bird a little bit too. And now we've got this really cute little 4x6 journal card. So now I've got a whole slew that I can get in there and print. I've got a library card. I've got a grid from the Real Good Times, I think is the fishing collection. I've got the dot grid. Now, maybe those little lanterns are too small. Maybe what I want to do is maybe I want to just see those a little bigger. I'm just going to pull that off and go a little bigger. And then maybe this, I want to do the same thing. Like I just want a little bit of a swoop there. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so it's only going to print what you see on your 4x6 canvas. Isn't this fun? I hope you guys are loving this. Okay, I'm going to check in on, I can get down a long rabbit hole. I'm going to check the questions. Yes, use Canva in Cricut. Yes, you can. It's not required, but you can. So you can do all your fancy stuff here if you want, and then boom, bring it in. Okay, so yes, Canva is both, it's available anywhere and everywhere on your computer, on your phone, on your iPad. Love it. Okay, good. Yes, this is live, Lori. So this is streaming directly to YouTube. You're going to be able to watch it and rewatch at your convenience. Okay. Yes, and that's it, Cherie. This is what I use to create all the graphics. If you've seen all my graphics, this is it. This is the program. Okay. How would you then cut some of those elements for individual die cuts? Okay, Kathy. So we're just going to kind of tackle printing first here, but there is a way. Let me come back to that. For your actual machine, I'm going to kind of show you that in a little bit, but I kind of want to give you just a little bit more from Canva. And yeah, so okay, Deb, good. Yeah, this is kind of your intro into using digital art in your scrapbooks. So remember now okay, so Lauren, this looks great on Canva. How do I get it into my hands? I want it in my hands. Okay, let's go through that. So there's this big button right up here called share. And when you click that, it's going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. I go straight to download. Okay, go right here to this button says download. And you can share directly to social. So a lot of people use Canva to do their social media management, and that's amazing. But I usually download my images and use them that way. Okay, so when you look here, it'll say file type. I love PNG files. They're good, crisp, and clean. You could also use JPEGs. You could use PDF and all of those different things. Whenever you see this little crown next to something like SVG, that is the Pro feature. And I do use Pro, just so you know, but whenever you see that, that is a Pro feature. So if you have the free version, some of the things will kind of, quote, be locked unless you upgrade to the Pro version. But really, it's not that much. I think it's about 100 and something a year. And you can just go to town. So we're going to keep it on PNG. And then we are going to look right here. It says select pages. Because remember I said I've got 5 different ones. But maybe right now all I want to do is print this cute little lantern card. Okay. So what I'm going to do is unselect all pages. And I'm just going to go to page 3. And print. And click done. And then I'm going to download. Okay. And you should see this cute little thing pop up saying, hey, it's downloading. And then I can look down here in the bottom left corner and I can see, yep, it's downloaded. So I'm going to go to my downloads folder and there it is, 4x6 1 ping. Okay. You can rename it if you want to. I'm going to open that. And now I'm going to file, print, and I'm going to switch it to my crafter printer. And right now I have a 4x6 piece of white cardstock in the back. Now you guys know how much I love my crafter printer, Canon crafter printer, because it has all the borderless features. So I did select 4x6 borderless. And I am going to print. So while that's working, I'm going to come back and answer one question for Kathy, which is, how about getting digital art right from Canva? So let's come back here while that's printing, and I'll show it to you when I'm done. Let's come back here and say, okay, I just want to print, I'm going to make this straight again, and I'm going to put this here, and I want to print hope. And then when I print that, see, I can just cut that out, or maybe I want it to go across. Maybe I want it to be 4 inches. So I'm just going to bring hope over the 4 inches. And I know, since this is a 4x6 format, when I print, that hope will be 4 inches big, right? And then I'm going to, maybe I want my little dove to be a little bit bigger. And this is what, if you watched the last Scrap with me, this is what Noreen was doing. She was not in Canva, but she was doing this direct to her printer. You can now then print this, and I'm going to put another piece of 4x6 cardstock in there. 1 second. And I'm going to go get the, 1 sec. Sorry. Let's do, maybe we'll do 2 birds. Okay. And so we fill up the little card, and one's going to be bigger and this one's going to be a little smaller. And I'm going to print this too. Let me go grab the other one and put in my other piece of white cardstock. Are you guys ready to see the one I just printed? It's so cute. Oh my gosh. So cute. Okay. So now I'm going to do this again. I'm going to share. We'll go, just so you know, once again, download. Nope, I don't want all pages. I just want my birds right here. Done, and download. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, I'm going to come back around here. I'm going to send that to my printer, my birds. Print. And, you know, your menus will probably look a little different from mine. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. Look, isn't that adorable? So it's printed 4x6 just on some white cardstock. And now we have the cutest little journal card straight out of digital into my hands, ready to go into my album. So Cherie, you had, yeah, if I would go to redrivercatalog.com. Most photo inks are archival. Most photo inks are archival. I mean, they're basically done so we can print photos, right? So, but I would just look it up, do a Google search on it, because everybody has different printers, everybody has different ink, and I don't know all that information. It just, sorry, it won't stay there in my head. Okay, does that make sense? So here's the journal card that you just saw with the little dots on it, and my yellow ink is getting a little low, so I can tell by the color that's coming out. I've got to switch out my ink tank, but let me go back and show you how the birds came out. So, whoops, I didn't have this. Looks like my hope was a little big. I should have checked something. Something came out. So my hope came out a little big. So I'd probably have to just work on that a smidge. But you can see how I can just cut that off and add that to my album, right? And then this is where we're going old school, scissors and paper. If I want that bird, I can just fussy cut it, right? This is what Noreen was showing on her tutorial with the panda. She just got that panda and fussy cut it. And you guys take a little more time than I'm doing, but basically, right, you've got your, you basically have your own element, right? Just cut it out super fast. And yes, redrivercatalog.com. It's Red River paper. And Red River paper is my favorite. And I have one in my, I talk about it a lot. Okay, so yes, Red River. Okay, so there's your own little hand cut element. Before we kind of jump off, I want to go back to Canva for a second and mention something else. It's a little trick that I'm going to go back to my home, and I'm going to come in and look at those letter size prints again. So remember, I've taken 12 by 12 and sized it down to 8.5 by 11 in case you don't have a 12 by 12 printer. If you do have a 12 by 12 printer, just like I showed you in the beginning, you can print 12 by 12. It's awesome. Okay, how, Lauren, did you get only this little moon right here? That's from your baby charms sheet. But if you double click, look at the whole sheet is there. How did you do that? Okay, so this is actually, did I make another page to show you? Okay. I don't think I did. So remember how I was saying you could go to elements and you can put in, not that one, sorry, delete. Let's see, is it this one? I think we'll try this one. You can add in a photo frame. Basically, that's what I did. This is a photo frame, and you can size it to whatever size you want. And then I went to my uploads, and can you see my baby charms right here? So this uploaded as an entire PNG. Now, when I designed this, and I'm actually rethinking it, I may go back and anybody who's purchased baby charms, I think I'm going to go back and give you individual files too. And hopefully I can just email that to the people who've purchased this. But let's say for now, okay, it's all one image and you want to, and you want to just get that little sailboat. So can you see I pulled that right into the photo frame and now it contains it in there. But remember how we were in here and we were like, oh, look, we can just move this around and only get what we want, right? So now I can go, no, I just want that little sailboat. So it's kind of hard to figure out exactly. You can kind of see it's a little darker. But it's a way of separating, it's kind of tricky if you don't have more advanced software. So I'm just trying to give you kind of a quick and dirty way to do that. You can see I've almost got it there, right? And just get, like, say you don't want to print the whole sheet. You just really want that sailboat. And you can just now print that. I think I just have to kind of make it a little bigger up here. Let's see that. Pretty close. Okay, but you guys get it. You can fiddle with it until you get it into that frame so that you just have that element. And now you just have that on your canvas. On your 8.5 by 11, you can do the same thing on a 4 by 6. Does that make sense? So I want to give you that little tip on, sometimes artwork comes where it's all together, right? Now, I also gave you drawing a blank. Word art. That's what I was trying to tell you. Word art with the baby charms file. And again, just kind of like I printed out the hope with the bird, you can do the same thing right here. Now this is 8.5 by 11. Remember, I'm in my 8 letter size prints up here. So this is going to be huge. So you may want to pull that, make it kind of smaller. And here's something to notice. Do you see as I'm holding it? So what I'm doing, I'm pulling the corner down and holding the mouse button, and you can see this little black, seeing the black square. Let me see. I wonder if I can enlarge it so you can see that better. Let's try this. That little black, there it is. That's better, isn't it? It'll tell you how big it is. So now it's 3.2 by 3.6. Okay? So all these little tips and tidbits from Canva, you know, the more you play with it, the better you get and the more you find. And it's just, it's a favorite program. It's just wonderful. Okay, so one of the easiest ways I've been able to get digital art, play around with it in a very user-friendly way, and then get it straight to my printer. You just download it right here from the Canva app. What's going on with my screen now? Oh, Lauren, you did it now. Okay. Oh dear, what happened? Okay. Oh my goodness. So I think I broke it. Escape. What did I do? Oh, there we go. Now we're back. Okay. Oh, here we go. Now I see. All right. You here? Audrey's here.
I still haven't gotten a text.
Audrey's here. Okay. So I'm going to take a little break from Canva. And isn't it fun though? I really hope you guys learn and play with it. And what I want to do, since Audrey's here, I know I've had this question. I'm going to take you really quickly through the steps so that it's here on how I did my print and cut for my baby charms video. Okay, so while we're getting that, so basically I'm going to start here, and then Carrie has so graciously said, yeah, I'll help you, but I got to get home and I got to get some things done. And then Carrie's a whiz with the Brother Scan and Cut and the Silhouette Studio, so much more. So I think I'm going to, you know, kind of do session 2, cutting, quote cutting, where we can dig into some more about that. But I'm going to give you a little quick tidbit on Design Space. Okay, this is Cricut, so we're going to start there. But first, anybody can do Canva on a PC, on a Mac. You do not have to have an electronic cutter. You can use all the beautiful artwork like I'm showing you right here from Creative Memories, and you just click and add that. Look at that, how fun it is. You can just have so much fun and play around with all the different layers and things you can do right here in Canva. Okay, so the one thing I should mention too, it does, every time you open a new project, it opens a new tab. It's just the way it is. So when you go back to home, you can see all your fun different projects that you've got started. Okay, Canva, I love it. Let me tell you, use it all the time. Let me now switch over to Cricut Design Space. And I think you're going to follow me right over here. And I'm going to have Audrey kind of take you in here and walk you through. So, Audrey, have a seat.
Oh,
over here. And one thing, let me grab something I have over here. Before we get started, let me check in on the questions. Whoops. Oh, shoot. Okay. How are we doing on questions on Canva? Ooh. Cardstock, not yardstick. Do you cut up white? Yes, I do. Cut up white. Creative Memories white cardstock. I use that, and then if I have extra pieces that I have left over from, say, inserts from my 12 by 12 pocket pages. Sometimes I'll cut that up, or the insert, I just kind of keep a stash of white cardstock. So yes. Okay, so all right, now we need to buy digital. Okay, yes, and the full name is the Canon Crafters Printer. So before we jump in, I'm going to come back just for a sec. Are you ready to say hi, Audrey?
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Okay, I'll say hi. You want to say hi?
You can say
Okay, I'll say hi. I'm going to show them. This is what, okay, before we come back. Hi again. Okay. This is what we're going to kind of take you into. The world of how did I make these fun things. So this is from my baby charms. That was one of the borders I put together. This is another one. And you can see this little little dress is cardstock. So all these pieces are cardstock, and they go with the You Quack Me Up paper. Okay, so let's take a look. I know this is one of my favorites. Captain Adorable. So there's the cut file. I used navy cardstock to cut the title. These are those little sailboats we were just playing with in Canva, right? But you can get a beautiful cut on those too. And the clouds and the stars. And let's see. Here, hold that one. Just hold that. Audrey's like, I'm not camera ready. There we go. To the moon and back. So here's some borders too. So how do we get from digital to something like this? That's our question. And what Audrey's going to walk you through is we're going to get you to the point where you're going to have this was an oops one, but basically you can see print and cut. You're going to have this black line around it for registration so that your cutter knows where to cut. Okay, so Audrey's going to take you through design, Cricut Design Space. We're going to go back in to Design Space. Where did it go? Oh, I know. We have to do the screen share. And she's the one who helped me get all those little guys printed out. Okay, so ready? Here we go. Okay, so if you open up your Cricut Design Space, you guys will come into a place that says all my projects, right, Audrey?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
what would they need to do to get started?
Well, you can start a new project. It'll just replace it.
Yep.
And then it'll have a blank kind of dashboard you can use. And if you want to, for what my mom did with the stickers, you'd upload a design. So you go down here and you click upload. Oopsies. And then you'll do upload image, browse, and right here it does say like what file types are supported by Cricut. And then so we have this PNG, and you'll just open it. This one I'll do complex. I usually just do this as default or moderately complex, and then continue. And as long as it like looks good and that it's like outlined, everything is according to like what you like, you can say apply and continue.
And this is critical right here when you get to these two screens.
Yeah. You
right?
want to say print then cut image, or else this will just not print it for you and it'll just cut these shapes out on like any paper.
Right.
So you'll want to select print then cut and then upload.
Carrie says, go Audrey, go Audrey.
And then it won't go to
Right.
your like dashboards. It'll pop up here. So then you'll click it. and you say add to canvas down here in the corner. And
whoa, it's giant.
Yeah, it'll come
it's
in
really
huge.
big.
So what you can do is you can lock it up here so that if you change anything here, it'll move together. So we can say width is like 10 inches and then we'll move it.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of do some goofs so that you know what you have to do in order to get it to the right size. Right, Audrey? Okay, this part right here is really critical. And that is to get your printer to make that cute little white outline, right?
Yes. And then I think usually we just input a number. It's 015.
015. Write that down, guys.
0.015.
0.015. 0.015.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to just, I don't know why, but you have to just kind of click right here for it to apply.
And you can see the line around it. And you can either have like soft corners, which is, it'll just follow the shape of it, or harsher corners. Mm-hmm. So I usually just do keep it on the soft corners. And then you hit apply. And it'll create another layer.
And then why is it all black?
It just does that automatically.
It does that automatically.
What you want to do, since you're printing it, is you want to make sure it looks good. And then you'll change it to, you'll go to this little square of color and you'll change it to white.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you'll do is that you'll shift and select both of the layers.
Very important, this step.
And you click flatten.
Flatten. You've got to flatten it, or else it will cut the layer and the art.
Yeah.
Both. And that was my mistake I was showing you before.
Cuts everything.
Cuts everything. So you want to make sure that that offset is attached to your artwork. Mm. Okay.
At this point, it's ready to print and cut. So you go up to the top right corner and say make it. And see, right now it's giving us an error because the picture, or like this, is too big for an 11.5 by 8 inch paper.
I think the biggest right now print and cut is 10. I think it's 8 by 10 ish. But you have to play. This is the tricky part that I found, is you have to kind of play with it and just make it a little smaller until it says, okay, I can cut this for you. Oh, it's just having, I think it's the length is a little small. Yeah. I mean, a little too big.
My goodness. I think I had to go down to 6, I remember, for this one. There we go.
Okay. So you can print it, you can get it, even though, here's the tricky part. With print and cut, we have not found a way to use the 12 by 12 canvas. And if Carrie's still on, I'm not sure, or somebody, Carla says 9.75, but, this is print and cut, so it has to have that, the height, 9.75. Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The way this is set up, we just had to kind of keep pulling it in until, for your printer, it might be a little different. And it was frustrating because Cricut also has a beautiful white sticker, 12 by 12 cardstock. And I was all excited thinking, oh, I'm going to print this at 12 by 12. And then you can't. So that's why I went back actually and redid the PNG file. Carrie said it is limited and you can't do the 12 by 12. So what I did is I actually made these PNGs kind of a good size for printing. Like I went back and I redid the sizing on all of this so that when you actually do a print and cut in Design Space, you'll get those sizes that I showed you just before we started the screen share. So, they're not itty bitty, they're not giant. And that's why I kind of said, I'm not going to give you each individual file at first, because I wanted you to just have this layout and be able to go straight to print and cut and then start scrapbooking with it once you cut it. So that was just a little bit of a background. There's a little limitation here. So what do we do next, Audrey?
What you can do is you click continue, and then are we going to send this to printer? Because there's like, okay, I'll just go do the steps. So it sends to printer.
And then what? Well, no, actually, let's do it.
Okay, we'll print it.
Let me change the cardstock.
For this printer, you have to select off on add bleed, because that would be if it's like a solid image or like solid shape here you're printing, then you'd want to add bleed to it. Or if it's you want to like cut it exactly the shape of the sticker without any outline to it, you'd want to add bleed so that there'd be no accidental white areas. And then you click use system dialog and you say print.
That's important. Say that again.
Yeah. Make sure to check use system dialog.
And then it's like, where does it go?
See, it's like gone, and it's
it's usually behind it.
Yeah, you guys you can't see it, but
it does.
What you have to do, it does.
Yeah, it's behind it.
No.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
It doesn't show the
Click
print screen pop up.
Click on the print.
I did.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't show up, but what happens is a little print window is open, like right here, like the normal print window you get wherever you print on Macs. And then you want to feed it from the rear tray or tray?
Yeah, rear tray. Just leave it where it was.
Manual feed?
Actually, switch it to Crafter printer.
Oh, okay.
Canon's Crafter printer.
This one.
Top one, yeah. There you go.
Feed from rear tray. Best quality. This is plain paper?
Plain paper. Yep, and go ahead and print.
Print.
Okay, let's see what it's doing.
And then
now.
There was a button up here that says I've already printed. So if you already printed one, but you had it's asking your paper size.
Oh yeah.
But you had to like go do something and you came back and it went back to the home screen, then you can click the thing that says I've already printed and it'll take you right to here. This is where you select what kind of paper you're using. There's a lot.
This is the cutting menu now. Yeah.
So you can browse all materials. They have like hundreds of materials in their system.
And then a tip here is to star the ones that you use so that
they pop up here.
Yeah. So we're using about a 65-pound light cardstock. Yep.
And then for the pressure, it has a default pressure that it thinks it'll cut through it, but we usually like to do more just in case because it's really tricky.
And then if you go up to the top, scroll down just a sec, and then just circle that with your mouse. Up there, it'll tell you which machine you're connected to. So it knows, Design Space knows once you connect your machine what you have. Got it? Okay. Yeah.
And then, so now
it's still
it
printing.
tells you to load tools and materials.
Okay, it just finished.
And paper just finished printing.
Okay, so let's come back for just a sec. Audrey's hiding. Okay, and I'm going to show you what we just got out of the printer. Okay. So there it is, and you can see it has the black line. It's really important you have to have that black line around your whole image. So because that's what the cutting machine lines up to when it wants to cut your little embellishments. Okay, so you have to, when you're done, it should look like this. That's the point. Okay, here we go. We're back to screen share. All right, so what do we do with our printed paper, Audrey?
You'll get your
should I show them that?
giant green mat.
Your giant green or
whatever
blue.
stickiness level you like. We usually like what sticky levels?
This is the standard.
The standard sticky
Standard
level.
or the light, depending.
And it'll have like a thing for you to line it up, and you make sure you line it up in the top left corner.
Here we go.
And in the top left corner. Make
Right
sure
there.
there's like white lines that go
Yep.
horizontal and vertical. Make sure they're like perfectly lined up. Even if they're not, it does scan the black lines, so it will know if it's a little off.
Right. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to go load it in my machine. And basically after that, you just cut.
Yes. And if you do find that like you've done all the steps right and your cutting is a little off, there is a calibration that a lot of people don't know about that you do on the Cricut, and for that you can just look up easily on YouTube like calibrate your blade, and it'll have you print out this sheet of paper and it'll do a bunch of test cuts and ask you a lot of questions.
And my machine was not cutting very well, and like it was offset until we calibrated.
Yeah, so ours really needed calibrated. As you can see, it was measuring the mat length, and now it tells you to press go, which is the little go button here.
There you go.
And now it's cutting.
And we're rolling. Thank you, Audrey. So let's check in and see questions. Okay, so there's a, you don't need to click on make it, just look for the yellow explanation triangle next to your layer until it disappears.
Oh, so when you're resizing.
When you're resizing, that's a great tip. Thank you. Next to your layer info. Yay! Thank you for the tip. See, we need all that help. Mary, question. It seems Cricut design space is only for the newer machines. Is this true, or could you use a Cricut?
You'd have to check the compatibility with your machine. I do know probably the older ones, because we do have an older Cricut machine. That one would not be compatible, just because I think it just has different.
Yeah, Carrie says with the you need a newer machine. So that is another reason why I really wanted to give you Canva as a backup, right? Because you can basically do this with Canva and do some fussy cutting. Like you can just do fussy cutting, like I showed you how you can, if you just want a certain embellishment, you can pull it into Canva and then just resize your image until you get that, and then you can just keep recutting or just keep pulling in just the elements you want. So it is a little more work that way, but it's kind of your choice whether you want to buy a whole new machine or kind of do your workaround. But I know there's a lot of there's a lot of different things you can get into, and it's kind of what level of tech do you want to learn, right? So Kathy has a question. Oh, Carla says 6.75 by 9.25 is cutting area to use on an 8.5 by 11 paper. Thank you. Yeah. So, and again, like you could see, we kind of just had to play around with it. And sometimes you can fudge that a little bit and try to get it bigger. But like I said, when I was designing the PNG file, once it's done cutting, I'll show it to you. And you can see that the size is pretty good for what we have to cut. But like I said, the other option is when you have individual PNGs, like when you get a kit from Creative Memories, you can resize that all the way to whatever size you need. Okay, you can take it up, down, you can, and Carrie has done that for us where she's brought it, like say all those little stars, like I think Carrie was showing us with the Showtime collection, brought in a bunch of stars. You can make them big and small and all different sizes, and then cut them all, print and cut them all. So when they're individual elements, what I'm saying is if they're individual elements, you can move them around the mat and resize them individually. But I just wanted to give you this little tutorial on like a one-off big file. Okay, so there's always different ways of approaching all these different ways of getting digital into your hands. That's the whole key, right? Okay, so let me come back. It's about finished cutting, and let's see, I think there's some more questions, so let me see what we've got here. Okay, hi guys. All right, so you can hear the machine. Just keep on going there in the background. So here's something, I know machines are all different, right? Like you have to resize that again. And so on the smaller format machines like the Joy, and Carrie, tell me if I'm getting this right. The Joy, you don't know if it does print and cut. Okay, so that would be a question. I don't have a Joy, so I'm not sure about that. But you could take those individual PNG files, hopefully, and maybe line those up. But I guess it all depends. Yeah. Okay. So the sticker paper setting didn't work. I'm most likely. Okay. Yeah. So sticker, that's another thing. Sticker, you have to kind of play with that if you want a kiss cut or whether you want it to cut all the way through your paper. I hear that it finished. So let me go grab my file or my print here. Okay. So, you guys ready? I mean, we did it start to finish, right? So here it is. Here's the finished cut paper. So, and I think also it depends on your blade, your machine, you know, kind of how like when Audrey showed you, we always go up a notch from standard. Because we practiced a little bit and sometimes it doesn't cut all the way through. In fact, look at that. Some of these are not cutting all the way through. So that's a blade thing. Like I would want to come back and I'm going to put this down here and pull it up and come back in and just go, okay, I probably need to adjust or maybe say this is thicker cardstock instead of 65 pound. I thought this was 65 pound, but if it is thicker cardstock, then you need to, it'll adjust the how hard it presses on your blade, on everything. Okay, so I'm trying to get some of these off, and I picked a really sticky mat too, which Carrie told me way back, one of the easy things to do. I think this was a newer mat. Okay, so I'm having some trouble with this. This is true work in progress. So when you get a brand new mat, I love Carrie was mentioning you can take a t-shirt and just kind of stick it, because sometimes that makes it a little easier. It doesn't grab your embellishments quite so hard. So there's the little bathtub and here's the little moon. So you can see these cut really close to the edge, and the 0.015, you know, sometimes, I don't know, it's weird. Like when I did these, it gave a little more white. Like you can see, this one has a little more white on it. So you can just play with that offset setting until it looks the way you want it to look, on how much white is going to be around your embellishments. But they're pretty cute. So you can see, I think those are a nice size for making your pages, right? It's pretty close to what I was using on these borders for doing that. Okay, so I need that as a fan. It is hot in here. Okay. Yes, I'm not showing how I designed these images. Oh, that's No, we'd be here for 5 months with that. It took me about 2 years of using Illustrator to finally understand enough of that program to learn how to do this. So the design work, that's a whole nother story, Cherie. So this was just using the file that I created so you can print. Okay, let's see if we have all our questions. Yes, these are the baby charms are ones that I did design. I must have missed some questions there because there was nothing to go with the You Quack Me Up paper pack, and I adore that paper pack. So in case you missed it when we were beginning, I have those. So it's just another way of showing, all the different things you can do with digital, turning digital into traditional. So this can go right into a scrapbook page. There's the little sailboats. I mixed this with the You Quack Me Up paper. I mean, it's so cute. Look at the little waves on the paper and the bubbles and all of that. And here's the duck. So what I did for this border is I took the artwork, right? And then I created a thicker offset. You can see how much thicker that offset is. And that's actually done in vellum. So if you can see that, that's done in vellum. And I just loved the look of it. So this is the Serene Waters vellum. And I mixed it in with the, I guess I stuck that down. There you go. You can kind of see. There's the vellum. And then I just cut a circle, just that kind of thing. There's the circle chain border cartridge. And then there's the element. So different things you can do. This is all what it's showing. And there's the little duck punch for the border too. Okay. I know this is probably, this is a lot. I get it, you guys. This is a lot. It's like, oh my gosh, this all has to soak in. I have to understand what we're doing here. This is level 1. This is first pass on cutting, right? And you can see I still need to kind of get that adjusted. I don't know why that didn't cut all the way through, but it's a trial, it's practice. You keep doing it and you keep getting better at all of the different pieces in this process. So one of the main things though, again, coming back to Canva, how quick and easy is that just to get in there, create a 4x6, create an 8.5 by 11, right? Or even this was done on a 12 by 12. And you can just do all these different prints. So you can take the digital, your favorite digital things and bring them back to life again, right? Okay, so let's see. Let me make sure I have all my questions. I don't think I'll get to all my questions, but is there something? I know I kind of knew when I was thinking about the whole cutting. This is going to be frustration for some people because there's so many choices out there when we can buy a cutter, what size cutter, what software interface does it have? Is it Silhouette Studio? Is it Cricut Design Space? Is Brother Scan and Cut? Now, Carrie, since you're on, that's another thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Brother Scan and Cut, I think you can just go right in. You could just print out the PNG, scan it through your machine, and it should pick up the outlines of your designs and then automatically know where to cut. That's the wonderful thing. My Scan and Cut is, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old now. It's not one of the newer ones, but there's a lot of good stuff that you can do with that too. So I know if you have to watch again, Debbie, we can watch again. That's why I thought it's a little different. There's a lot, if you want to learn more, there's a lot of videos, a lot of really well done videos on Cricut Design Space, on every different cutter. I wanted to kind of, for us as scrapbookers, how do we use it? How do we use it with CM digital kits or kits that we buy? And how do we kind of bridge that gap? Yes, the brother, Carrie just said, yes, the brother cuts directly on your print. And she has the old one too. So I haven't tried it on that yet, but way back, I used to cut titles and different things that way too. So you just scan it and then it pops up in your brother scan and cut. And then you put on your paper and scan it again, I believe. And then it'll see that you have to match your two images. Phew. Okay. All the above. I don't know what you're talking about. All the above. You won't mind me saying this, but if you're a hybrid scrapper like me, you can also use the CM. Yes, of course, Deb, in the Forever Artisan program. And that's another level, right? So there's always different levels. So Forever Artisan, you can do all this stuff that I just showed you in Canva. You can do in Artisan. Artisan is kind of an equivalent to Photoshop. A lot of people know Photoshop or Illustrator. Illustrator, Photoshop are Adobe products, and Artisan is the do-over for Storybook Creator. Way back, right? Storybook Creator, when Creative Memories had that. So Forever now owns the digital rights to Historian and Artisan, which are the Forever products for the digital. I know. Woo! Okay. And Terry, Terry's a whiz with all the cutting machines too. Terry and Carrie actually don't live very far away from each other, so maybe I should have both of them come on and help me for the cutting stuff, right? Yeah. All right. Fussy cutting is right up Sandy's alley. And that, I'm so glad to, thank you for saying that. So, right. In fact, Audrey started, where did she put did she take the bird? She started cutting more of the bird, but easy peasy, right? You saw how quick and easy you could resize that in Canva. So even if you don't have the experience with Artisan or with Illustrator or with Photoshop, or, it's just a super simple graphics program. Okay. So much there to learn, so much to use. Yes, you can do that. Okay. I love it, Terry. All right. So yeah, I hope, Mary, good. So, and everybody has to come to their own term. What Mary was saying is she's not sure. Does she want to invest in a new cutting machine, or, how much is she going to use it, and so forth. So I wanted to give you all of these different ideas and resources, really. Some are super easy. Okay. Shoo. Vicki wants a Cricut to her wish list. Okay. And Carrie's about 800 miles away from her cutters. So in a few weeks, maybe we'll get Carrie and Terry. I love it. You guys rhyme. And hopefully we can set something up again soon to kind of dig a little bit more into all the different elements, because boy, lots to learn with cutting. But like I said, if you don't want to wait, in the meantime, lots and lots of tutorials on YouTube, tons of tutorials, right? And but I think what's helpful for us here in this community is, like, how do I use it specifically to make stuff to scrapbook with, right? Like, I want to do that, and how do I do that? So that was my goal for tonight. And I think we're going to wrap up. We have been going a long time. It is hot in here too. By Tuesday, cross your fingers, by Tuesday, my air conditioner is going to be back. So let's see. Oh, and the other thing we didn't get a chance to do, I'm going to switch over one more time, is the screen share. I'm going to come back into the Cricut Design Space, And I'm going to go to my projects. And if you see this one, I was playing with relax and unwind because I know I had a question. And I'm not going to be able to dig into this today. But again, we kind of answered it when we were talking about the max size that you can use for your print and cut. So we were saying, oh yes, we can print and cut beautiful laser borders, right? Well, guess what? Only up to a certain size. So I pulled in this border from Relax and Unwind, but just like all these other ones, when you get, let me go back to my project. Okay, hold on. Where is let me go here. My project, where is it? Okay, let me just pull it in. Add to canvas, right? This is the file. It's too big. Like you can't, when you click make it, it's going to say it's too big. So we're going to have to kind of tweak it. Maybe there's some new things coming that Cricut will be able to support 12 by 12. And I know Carrie has played around with the biggest on her cut files that she can get. Like she's done those beautiful dance cut file, the dancing people cut file. And I think, wasn't it like 11 3/4 inches? Carrie, was like the biggest you could get out of Cricut, even just for a plain cut, like a long one. So there are a few little limitations that way. But let me say this, and we'll end with this, is getting comfortable. We have to learn this in layers. Like, don't beat yourself up like I can never do that, it's too much. But let's learn this in layers. Canva is a super easy way to start and just make some of this darling cute little stuff and get it into your hands and just go, oh, I don't have that border anymore, but look at that cute little thing I can do on a journal card. And yeah, and Linda said we can talk about silhouette too, because silhouette is out there also. And Deborah says you can rotate to go corner to corner. Good idea. So maybe we'll have to play with that and see how can we do that to get the biggest canvas out there. Okay. So Carrie says, yep, silhouette, you can get closer to 12 by 12. And so tips and tricks, right? Tips and tricks. But let's start learning the basics, getting our hands on some of this fun digital stuff and putting it into our albums. And as you know, I love to kind of just play around and see what else we can do and design. Like I know I've shown you, I've designed some fun journal paper. This one's printed on a 5x7. So see where you are, learn that level, and then, once you're comfortable with that, you can add your learning on to the next level. That's the way I always do it, because otherwise you just go, no more. Okay. All right. So good. All right. So you guys, you have something to go on. I hope that was helpful. And I know it's not for everyone, and I know everybody has different comfort levels and different experience levels. So just to get your feet wet, try something new. Just try something new. Have a little fun, and let me know how it goes. Okay. And we will see you again 2 weeks from now for another Friday night scrapbooking. We'll probably, I'm not sure if we'll do the cutting then, or we'll just have to kind of see how things go. I'll talk with Terry and Carrie. And also, just so you know, in the meantime, I'm kind of excited. I'm doing a collaboration with another brand called Stationery Pal. So you'll see a video from me with some fun stuff. And I have had a lot of questions. And if Carolyn's watching, Carolyn, this one's for you, because I know you asked me several times, Lauren, can you show me how to do that traveler notebook? So guess what? I'm going to get back into my little traveler notebook, because this Stationery Pal has some really, really fun products that you can use in just this little fun traveler notebook size. It's off the reservation, not creative memories at all. It's just totally fun. And so I'll be doing a video collab with them and share some fun things with that on how to do a traveler notebook. So can't wait to share that with you. I also have another pop crop coming up the 20th. Let me pop that in there. My next one is on August 20th from 12 to 4. And let's see. I think that's all for now. Any questions? Okay. Oh, looks like Carrie got your question. Okay. Yep. There's always something to learn. All right, you guys. So have a wonderful rest of your weekend. You'll be seeing me around with some fun new things popping in and out. And I am, since you guys enjoyed my album share, I'll be doing another one of those too, because I've got 2 more albums to share with you. So just hope you can stay in touch. Remember, if you want to get notified, to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you know when I post new videos. And I like to remind you a few days ahead of time that I'll be going live, or so you can set a reminder for yourself. Okay. Yay! Carrie will be home for the next pop crop. I love it. All right. And Kathy follows Stationery Pal on Instagram. I know, they are amazing. So I have this really fun box. Whoops. Oh my gosh. They sent me. I can't wait to share it with you. All right, you guys. So stay tuned. And big hugs. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me tonight for Friday Night Scrapbooking. And until next time, I hope you take time to craft some joy. Take care, everyone. Bye.